Hi, Charles Moman here. Well, here they are, the 2020 brand new models of the Runaway Campers. Here's the 4x8 CoolCamp, and here's the 6x8 RangeRunner. And I'd like to give you kind of an overview about these campers. Thanks for watching. Well, I know you want to know what are the differences. Well, the primary difference now is the construction. And Steve and Justin came up with a great design, and so these are now constructed out of a composite of fiberglass and PVC. And so the shell, the interior, underneath, it's all made of that composite material. So it's basically impervious, it's waterproof, and another great thing about it, it makes these campers much lighter. As a matter of fact, it makes it up to about 20% lighter. And so Justin was telling me that the RangeRunner model is now about the weight of the CoolCamp, and the CoolCamp is now about the weight of the Slice. And that makes a huge difference. That's a game changer for some people who are on kind of the edge with their vehicle. Of course, you're responsible for knowing and being careful knowing what the towing capabilities are of your vehicle, but there are some people where this will definitely make it where they're going to be able to tow one of these campers for sure. So they still have the same look, but when you get inside, when you look underneath, you'll see it's all made of that composite material, which is much lighter. So while Steve was getting the camper ready for me yesterday before I towed that RangeRunner, he was washing it, and then he thought he'd have some fun. He did not have the power strips installed yet, and so he opened up the window, and as you're seeing in the video now, he was just pouring water all around through the window, through the doors, and then it was just draining out. And then he pushed it out with a mop or something, and he was having fun with it. But to make a point that there really is no wood in these campers from this point on. And so I wouldn't suggest that you do that, especially when you get yours and it has the power strips here and there. You don't want to get those wet. But he was just making the point that, you really could, if you had a dog making a mess in there or something, you could take everything out and you could carefully spray it. I'd say cover up the outlets maybe to be safe, but you could mop it and clean it, no problems at all. Another thing that Steve did yesterday, and I'll show you that video, he took a hammer to a panel of their composite material and pounded it, and you couldn't tell it had been pounded on, and then he decided to drive over it with his truck. No damage. So it just shows you the strength of these new panels, and it's a great change for Runaway campers. Well, let's just take a quick look around the two big sellers, the CoolCamp 4x8 and the RangeRunner 6x8. And they really do look like the models that have been made before, but when you get to them and touch them, you can tell that it's not the aluminum surface anymore. It's that composite panels, and remember, those composite panels are top, bottom, sides, and so that's the feel now, but they still have the same look for sure. The 2020 models will have different logos and different lettering, so that will help you differentiate between the previous generation and this new one. So what did you notice, Susie, when you first looked in the camper?
The first thing I noticed was it seemed lighter in there. That dark carpet is off of the ceiling, and the light colors on the walls and the ceiling kind of throw the light around.
And the linoleum is gone as well.
I love the colors on the textured walls, but I'm wondering how to attach things to the walls.
Well, the previous version had wood walls, and so regular screws would work. But Steve has already been testing out different ways of attaching anything to the walls, and by the time these new 2020 models are available, they will have suggestions for what will work best. And in case you're wondering, yes, there are shelves, but they are not made of wood. They are also made of plastic, and they have a metal trim across the front of them. Many of the standard features of the Runaway campers remain the same, and let me point out just a few of them. But I suggest that you look at the website to see an updated version of all the standard features for each model. The doors and the windows remain the same. The door, however, is not the composite material, though that may change. The same wheels and tire sizes, 13-inch for the CoolCamp and 15-inch for the RangeRunner. The doors have the dual locks with the deadbolt. The same key operates both of these locks you're looking at. The standard LED taillights are the same. There's a rear accessory hitch, so example if you would put a bike rack there. Dual folding stabilizer jacks on both models. And the front hitch is the same. It's the wheeled front jack, and the RangeRunner has the removable wheel. Well, I think we're one of the first ones to drive one of the 2020 models of the Runaway Camper that's made out of the composite fiberglass, and it's true. It felt like we were driving our 4x8. I mean, it's obviously bigger. I can see it in the mirrors for the first time, which I kind of like. With my F-150 in this car, when I look back, I never saw the camper unless I leaned. So it's for sure about the same weight as a 4x8, and we're pretty excited about getting our hands on one pretty soon. It's true. It felt like we were driving our 4x8. I mean, it's obviously bigger. I can see it in the mirrors for the first time, which I kind of like. With my F-150 in this car, when I look back, I never saw the camper unless I leaned. So it's for sure about the same weight as a 4x8.
Charles.
And, we're pretty excited about. Uh-oh. She just took a bite out of it right between takes. Anyway, we normally are camping all the time. We're on a 27-day camping trip right now. May even be a day or two extra since we're running back to Florida to pick up our new 2020 RangeRunner. But now and then on a long trip, we might now and then, maybe once or twice in a long trip, stop and stay at a Holiday Inn Express somewhere. So, busted. Well, this is just a quick overview. I haven't gotten in super detail about the new campers, and some of it's proprietary anyway, so I can't talk about or show you everything. But we like it. Susie said it's lighter and light. She likes the lightness inside especially, and I really like the fact that it weighs much less. And that'll be great with either of the vehicles that we are towing with. You know, we all had wish lists. I know you probably had some things that you would like to be added to the Runaway, and I know I had a couple, but I never bothered to mention them to the Shives. It's their baby, and they get to decide what the campers have and don't have. And so they stay with the tried and true. There were, of course, I saw on the Facebook pages lots of suggestions about this size or that size, or it needs to have this or needs to have that. And of course, Runaway, they are going to be continuing to make the campers successfully, and they can do that by not having 40 variations. And so that's something they just have to do. So I think for most people, you'll be happy with the Runaway. You know, we would have been just as happy with the wooden Runaway models because we take care of ours, we keep them caulked. They're going to last a long, long time. But now with the new composite, that's even easier to do. So we like what we saw. I like towing it. And just as I said earlier, check the website and call Daniel in sales for any questions that you have, because you saw prototypes and they're pretty much right there, how the final one will be. And you notice in some of the pictures there might not have been a shelf installed or a power strips, and of course those things will all be done. So hope you like what you saw, and thanks for watching.